Fox 13 meteorologist Jim Weber with your Sky Tower radar forecast.
All things considered, we're actually faring pretty well from this storm. We have seen some pretty heavy rain bands, some heavy rain in some areas, but that coastal flooding up to this point certainly hasn't really materialized. We've certainly had some localized areas of flooding, and Sky Tower radar still pretty active with this big rain band that's been working its way right through the middle of the viewing area. Over into Polk County, down in the Hardy, DeSoto County, some very heavy rain in that area. And from time to time, we've seen some heavy rain working its way through Pinellas County up into Hillsborough, and then along the coastline, the center of circulation right about here. So basically off the coastline of Hernando, moving up towards Citrus County, and that will just continue to work its way on towards the north. That wind shear and that drier air starting to take a little more effect on this storm. So the winds have now decreased down to 65 miles an hour. So right now, some of the heaviest rain along 17 near Arcadia, heading up into heading north up into DeSoto County, or up towards Wauchula. You can see some of the rain, some heavy rain up into that area, Fort Meade, and then up into Polk County, over towards Lake Wales, stretching up towards Polk City to the east of Lakeland. You had some heavy rain earlier in Lakeland. That is now starting to wind down. You're back into some lighter rain right now, but this has really been the area that's been been the focal area over the past several hours, with just this one rain band that just continues to bring down some very heavy rain in that area. We're going to be watching for the possibility of some flooding just because of all the heavy rain that's been coming down in that area. Along the coastline, Palm Harbor, over towards Clearwater, down towards Largo. Some very heavy rain in this area right now. And then over into extreme northwestern Hillsborough County, along the coastline, up in the Pasco and Hernando County, along 19. Some very heavy rain coming down right now. And then further to the north, up into Hernando and Citrus County, we've seen most areas just that light to moderate rain. Now, look at the rainfall totals. Most areas 2, 3, up to about 4 inches of rain, but then you cannot help to notice this area with the purple shade. This is into southeastern Manatee County, eastern and southeastern Sarasota County, over 9 inches, close to 10 inches of rain in some locations. So certainly some areas have been hit pretty hard, and you're starting to see more of this piling up. Say west of Wauchula, getting up into southwestern Polk County. We're starting to see 4, 5, 6-inch totals. So I think we're going to start to see at least some more areas being affected by some flooding. Here we are, latest on Tropical Storm Elsa. Winds have decreased down to 65 miles an hour. You can really see near the center of this system, there really isn't a whole lot going on. Everything's starting to get displaced a bit further away from the actual center, and that's a big part due to the wind shear and some drier air being pulled into this system. So it's just kind of cutting this system off. So you're just not going to see any more strengthening with the system. It'll be making landfall and then quickly start to deteriorate and weaken as it races across North Florida and up into Georgia. Right now moving to the north at 14 miles an hour, and then working its way up towards the Carolinas as we head through Thursday and into Friday, back, it looks like, out into the Atlantic. Still, at least for the next few hours here, we do have this tornado watch that goes for the entire viewing area. Anytime you're on that eastern side of the storm, we've seen this through the overnight hours, there's that possibility you could get that quick spin up tornado. So that is certainly still a little bit of a threat here as we go through the next few hours as this system continues to work its way towards the north. And as these winds start to turn a bit more out of a southwesterly direction, we still have the storm surge warning. We're going to be watching this and monitoring this very closely. We're still seeing some tides running a little bit above average at this point. Nothing all that alarming, a foot and a half in some areas over towards Pinellas County. But in some of those really low-lying areas, you still are under the threat that you could see some localized flooding. Winds, there you see St. Petersburg still gusting to 31 miles an hour, 28 over in Clearwater. Here in Tampa, not too bad, 24 miles an hour. Got that little dry slot that's coming in, so winds settling down up towards Brooksville. You're seeing those winds coming out of a southeasterly direction still at 29 miles an hour. Flood watch, that goes through this afternoon. You do see this darker shade. That is where we've seen that heavier rain, and there's that flood warning into eastern Manatee and Sarasota County. So as As we go through today, storm continues to work its way to the north. We'll still be pulling a few little rain bands through, but overall the coverage, it will start to diminish. And you see by lunchtime, a lot of this activity is to our north. We still see a few showers, but a lot of it kind of settles down. We'll continue with that west and southwesterly wind through the evening hours. And then I think by this afternoon, we're going to at least start to see some sun working its way back in. But for this morning, we still have some rain around, a windy morning, and then we see that improving conditions as we go through the afternoon. Daytime high at 85 degrees. Still maybe a few showers around into the evening, but overall not bad. 77 degrees. For tomorrow, scattered storms, not nearly as breezy. Daytime high up to 89 degrees. Not a good day out on the water. Winds turning more towards a southwesterly direction at 20 to 25 knots. Seas 6 to 8 feet with rough bay and inland waters. Next high tide, that comes up at 12:12 this afternoon. Here's your 7-day forecast. Daytime highs climbing back to the 90s. We settle the rain chances back down as we head into the weekend. Things actually looking pretty nice and much more of our typical Florida weather with some afternoon storms.